Good day, everybody. Well, here we are, our penultimate study in our 40-40 series. Today's study is called Be Prepared, and we're going to open up the book of Hebrews at chapter 9, verses 27 to 28. I feel like I've shared quite a few of my frustrations over this series, but I have another one to share with you today. There are times whenever waiting for a delivery can be very frustrating. I can remember once ordering something and being told that I would get a message the day before it was going to be delivered, and that message would have a time. Great, I thought to myself, I won't have to wait around all day if they give me a time. I can just get on with things and then be back when it's going to be delivered. So, imagine my annoyance when that text did come through and it said this. It said, your parcel will be delivered tomorrow between the hours of 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Seriously. That's their idea of giving me a time, a 12-hour window during the day. I mean, it could come at any point, so I had to be prepared for it and stay at home until it was delivered. I can also remember friends telling me about getting things ready for the arrival of their baby. As they got closer to the due date, well, they wanted to make sure that they had everything they needed and that their hospital bags were packed and ready to go. Because the fact was that the baby, well, it could come at any point. If it came early, well, then they would need to make sure that they had a car seat ready to get the baby home. They would need a cot for the baby to sleep in. They would need their pram put together and ready to go. They had to be ready because even though they had a due date, well, it could arrive early. They had to be prepared. In both of those examples, well, the outcome was understood. Something and someone was going to come. However, the uncertainty remained over exactly when that would be. So there had to be preparation made. Our passage today talks about preparation as well, and it's found in Hebrews chapter 9, verses 27 to 28. Just as people are destined to die once, and after that to face judgment, so Christ was sacrificed once to take away the sins of many. And he will appear a second time, not to bear sin, but to bring salvation to those who are waiting for him. The Bible makes it clear that one day Jesus will return. He will come back. When he comes, he will defeat Satan once and for all and judge everyone, those still alive and those who have already died. However, it's not at all that clear on exactly how this will all happen. Consequently, it's a subject of much debate and disagreement amongst Christians. So therefore, well, let's focus our attention on what's obvious rather than what's a little bit obscure. What is obvious is that we need to be ready for Jesus' return or for death, because you just don't know when you'll be standing before him as your judge. If you're a believer and a follower of Jesus, well, then you've associated yourself with his death and his resurrection, and you don't have to be afraid of his return. You see, on the cross, Jesus took your punishment. He's removed your sin, and in return has given you the gift of his righteousness. Therefore, when you stand before Jesus as a believer, his judgment will be this: not guilty. If we're Christians, well, then the outcome is secure. However, all of that doesn't mean that we can just spend the rest of our lives doing whatever we want. The Bible reveals that we will have to give an account of our lives and how we've used what God has given to us. Your eternal life, it doesn't depend on this account, but the Bible places great importance on it. So let's use our lives for God's glory. Let's be prepared. As we reflect on this passage today and think about how we spend the time that God has given us in this life, I want to encourage you to go and listen to a song. If you go to YouTube, search for Spend a Life by a guy called David Dunn. Have a listen to those words as you go a little bit deeper into today's study.